Spokesperson and legal counsel for the World Sikh Organization of Canada. Balpreet, greatly appreciate your time on this. Do you agree with the federal government's position that India is no longer actively interfering in Canadian democratic process, enough so that the government feels comfortable for the Prime Minister to make this trip?
I think it's preposterous. I think they must take us to be idiots. I mean, the last duty to warn that I'm aware of took place this Sunday, and it was a Sikh activist who was told that his life is in imminent danger, but not just him, it's his wife and kids. I mean, the whole story is absolutely ridiculous. We have the Prime Minister, the RCMP, and senior government officials telling us that the government of India is ordering hits in Canada. So Prime Minister Modi's right-hand man, Amit Shah, he's ordering hits. And they're using a terrorist entity called the Bishnoi Gang to do so. The Bishnoi Gang just took responsibility for a shooting this weekend. So I'm not sure what they're talking about when they say that the threat is now over. I mean, declaring it so doesn't make it so.
And you mentioning the threats that many Sikh activists are still feeling. How might this shift in messaging now continue to affect and impact Sikh Canadians who've reported threats or intimidation?
So this is a widespread problem across Canada. We're seeing activists whose family members are being threatened, who are being surveilled, and once again, over a dozen members of my community who are living with duties to warn, which means there's an active threat to their life. Even the leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, had a duty to warn. So if you can threaten the leader of a political party here in Canada, and we're still going to be going over to sell our lentils, that doesn't send a really reassuring message to members of my community. It basically says that bodies on the ground don't matter. What matters is supply chains and business. And that's unacceptable.
What more do you want to see from the government? What more needs to be done? What safeguards should Canada maintain to ensure Sikh activists and the greater Sikh population in Canada can continue to feel and remain protected?
So we've seen Mark Carney and his government re-engage with India without any accountability. India still denies that they have anything to do with any transnational oppression, foreign interference, or criminal activity. And we really need to see accountability. India needs to stop. You cannot be shooting members of my community. You cannot be shooting Canadian citizens on Canadian soil. And I'm just flabbergasted that our government doesn't seem fit to stand up for the rule of law, for our sovereignty. And basically, it's buckling the knee. It's very weak. It says to India, please buy our pulses, and we'll completely ignore the fact that you're running a crime wave across Canada. It's bizarre. I don't understand how you can justify it.
What specific actions do you need to see from Ottawa, from the government, to restore more trust within the Sikh community?
So we're seeing, once again, this wave of extortions across Canada. And our government, in the past, under Prime Minister Trudeau, had called it out, saying that the government of India is responsible for sponsoring this crime wave using the Bishnoi Gang. Our new government still calls it a crisis, but refuses to call out the fact that the government of India is involved. And that's, diplomatic and political leveraging, but it's not the truth. So we need Canada to hold India accountable, say that you cannot be conducting criminal activities and transnational oppression or foreign interference here in Canada. That has to be a minimum to re-engage. And that was what the Privy Council Office said prior to Prime Minister Carney's first engagement with Modi, saying that there have to be public accountability measures. And we haven't seen anything of the sort.